Is this thing on? Let's see. Whoa. Huh, weird. Let's see if that works now. Cheers. Not sure what's going on, but I guess I'll just say hi, guys. It's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Sorry about the weird issue just now there. Hi, guys. Hey, Agmalor, good to see you. Merly, Sana, Rhythm Sohal, man, good to see you, bro. How you guys doing? And happy Friday to you all. I'm actually filming right now on my Galaxy Z Fold 2. What's up, Wahaz? What's up, Max? Good to see you. And I'm out here in the park right now. Some kids are playing after school. This park is about, those badges are looking good, bro. This park is about 5 minutes. I'd say about 5 minutes from my house. And, oh, you want to see my leg? I'll show you my leg, dude. Have a look at my leg. There you go. So you can kind of see there. It's not too bad. It looks a lot better today. It's still hurts a little bit, but it's a lot better. I can definitely kind of like, I can kind of move pretty well. That's where it starts to hurt, right there. So still not 100%. I got my walking stick though, and this is the first day, guys, I've been out in 4 days. So this is the first time I've left my house since Monday, and I managed to just kind of walk out here. This is about as far as I could make it, and just decided to kind of sit down, got myself a little bit of a Frappuccino from Starbucks, and just kind of sit out. Hey, Uday, good to see you, man, and Shane as well. Thanks, I am Potato. Hope you get well, he says. You're a fan from the Philippines. And that's right, guys. So just wanted to kind of get out of the house. Like I said, I've been indoors so long. And this walk to this park typically takes me 3 to 5 minutes. It took me like 15 minutes, not like 12 minutes to get here with the walking stick. So I'm still pretty slow walking. My leg isn't perfect, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of sit out here and kind of chill, and happy to kind of chat with you guys. I do also have a bit of information about this giveaway that I'm going to share with you guys at the very end of this live stream, and that is specifically the two devices that I want to share with you guys. The two devices that you will be able to pick from for this giveaway. So that's going to come up very soon. But for now, guys, let's answer some questions if you do have them. And let's see here. I'm keeping my mask on, by the way, because I'm outdoors. You can see me there, though. And just for a moment, I can kind of take it down to drink my coffee, but I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm going to keep it on for now. So does Mi 10T Pro have a 240 hertz touch sampling rate? I'm going to say yes, I think it does. But I wouldn't know, because I've never held the phone. I've never reviewed the phone. And it's been 3 weeks. Obviously, as you guys know, I have no idea if that means it's actually more responsive or not. Hey, Mohammed is in town. What's up, Mohammed? Good to see you, bro. And yeah, I'm feeling a bit better now. Still got my walking stick though out here. And I'm doing okay, man. Like my leg, I got to tell you, it's been rough. Like I just stepped out today for the first time. But even walking right now, it feels like the joint is still trying to get better. Still feeling that pain. And at one point, I almost felt like I was going to fall. Luckily, I had my walking stick, though, and kind of that held me up. I don't think, the doctor told me basically that it'll be 2 weeks until I should do any type of exercise. Like, I should avoid running, hiking, or anything like that for 2 weeks. And right now, I guess we're on day 5, so I would say if I'm on day 5 right now, it'll probably be until next Saturday when I finally, am able to do anything again. Is Mi 10 Ultra still the best value in the market for now? I mean, the Mi 10 Ultra is still a great phone. I wouldn't call it the best value, though. I mean, I would say the fact that it's so hard to get, the fact that Xiaomi didn't make it easier to get, means it's not a great value. It's a great phone, but I don't think it's a great value. I think honestly, the OnePlus 8 Pro is still the best 120 hertz kind of flagship you can buy for the price, and I think the price keeps going down. You know, it'll only get better. That's my opinion. Yeah, good thing it's only 2 weeks, Waleed says. 2 weeks with no hiking. Bro, I mean, I've been in the house for 4 days. So this just coming out here already feels amazing. Just being outdoors and, you know, just being able to kind of feel the air on me. You know, I've been in my room essentially since Tuesday morning. So, will I review any Huawei phones? You know, Max, I'll kind of share with you guys the story. When I started the channel in 2018, I actually was doing about as many Huawei devices as I was doing Xiaomi devices. And guys, like, maybe if you were part of the channel at that point or not, in 2018, I actually named a Huawei phone my phone of the year, the Mate 20X. Up until the ban of Huawei, I was pretty much reviewing 50-50 Huawei and Xiaomi on the channel. Then it became more like 60-70% Xiaomi. And I think in recent months, to be honest, guys, I felt almost like the channel just turned into a Xiaomi channel. That was never my intention, of course. I think I would love to review more Huawei phones in the future. And hopefully they resolve the issues if the ban were to ever be stopped. If they're able to, you know, if Harmony OS gets good enough, yeah, I'll consider definitely reviewing Huawei because they're a big player. They make amazing hardware. And so, yeah, totally, I would consider doing that. Can't imagine Xiaomi sharing the spotlight. Well, then their spotlight can go somewhere else, bro. Because honestly, at this point, I don't have any spotlight to share for them, to be honest. I really don't. Like, I've kind of decided, guys, I'm not gonna be buying any other Xiaomi phones for a while. I'm done. Like, you know, unless I obviously get this review unit, unless they kind of try to make things right. Like, I have no plans to review Xiaomi stuff right now. I really don't. So, you know, if you guys are fans of other phones, of other companies, right now is the time. Huawei, Yumi Digi S5 Pro. You know what? What's your name? Joran? Anyways, those kind of phones, I personally at this time don't really want to review those unless they want to send me a free review unit. I've gotten Ulefone has sent me stuff. Doogee has sent me stuff. These kind of companies, I think at this point, my channel is large enough where, you know, if they want to send me one of their latest items, one of their latest products to review, I'll be happy to do it. But I'm not really kind of looking out to buy those types of phones just for review on the channel. Am I going to review the iPhone 12? Well, if you guys had watched Frankie Apple Tech, you would know that I'm actually, yes, planning to review the iPhone 12. I will be buying an iPhone 12 tonight, and I will be receiving it hopefully as early as Friday, next Friday, and we'll be doing a full unboxing on the channel for all of you guys. So that's the plan, and I think the iPhone 12 is a very exciting release because, you know, it's doing a lot of the right, correcting a lot of the wrongs, I think, of the iPhone 11. So better display, AMOLED or OLED display, better cameras, better build quality, just everything across the board. I think on Frankie Apple Tech, that's my insert promo. So I think it's a good phone to review, and I think it sets up a perfect situation. Like, I want to give the iPhone 12 a shot, and in a month's time, if the 12 Pro Max, you know, is amazing and I want to get it, I will just sell the iPhone 12 and I'll buy the 12 Pro Max. So that's kind of my plan. Please choose the Mini. Bro, I don't know. I'm gonna maybe check out the Mini once it's available to check out. But 5.4 inches, I don't know if I can go that small. That's just like, that's really small. But I think a lot of people will love the Mini. I think it's gonna be an amazing device for many. Best vlogging phone for under 2,000 yuan. I mean, I would have said the Poco X3 NFC was pretty good. Maybe I should just tell you go get the Realme 7 now, you know? Just joking. Yeah, Poco X3 NFC is probably a good choice overall. Yeah, for under 2,000. You love the Mini so much, he says. Yeah, dude. Look, the Mini is exciting because it's the first time we've seen an iPhone, a full like flagship iPhone, to offer this much phone in such a small body. So it's very exciting. And what did Ankmalord, what did you say earlier, bro? Hey Vishnu, good to see you, man. Yeah, honestly, dude, I mean, guys, this whole thing about the Mi 10T Pro, it has taught me one thing, which is that you always need to have a backup plan, and also you just don't take for granted kind of whatever it is that you do. You got to stand by what you do, and in the end, that matters more. So being honest, giving my honest reviews on stuff, and sharing my honest take. If that means I needed to like sign something by Xiaomi to kind of, hey, it's Shane, good to see you, bro. There's Shane Lawson, man, OG of the channel here. But anyways, what I'm saying is, guys, that if I needed to give up being objective about Xiaomi phones to get more review units, so if for some reason that meant I needed to start turning all of my videos into ads, so into just paid reviews, if that's something they asked me to do, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. Like, I don't think any phone manufacturer really deserves that. And I just don't think it's right. I think you guys as users of tech don't want to see a bunch of ads of phones. Like, you're coming to our channels to get objective understanding of our experience of the phone, And if something's good, I think you want to hear that it's good. And if something's bad, you want to hear that it's bad, right? Like, I don't think you guys are wanting to hear, like this. I'll just tell you one thing, guys, that's kind of ticked me off. There's not one piece of marketing information. There's not one piece of PR. There's literally zero mention. Whoops, just dropped my stick, man. This has been happening all week, guys. I dropped my stick everywhere. Anyways, guys, there's not one piece of PR, no piece of marketing anywhere on the internet where Xiaomi mentions that the Mi 10T series is using LCD technology. Not one. Like, not anywhere. And I've seen it in some reviews, but generally speaking, in a lot of the paid sponsored videos, it's not mentioned either. And in most of them, they're kind of vlogs. People like iJustine's video, for example, she did a vlog with the phone, and that was all she did with it. I mean, it's a good video, it's fine. But like, the point is, did they really review the phone? They didn't. So you're at work watching, Shane. Well, you're gonna be in trouble there. Don't become Unbox Therapy. What's up, Dell? Good to see you. Yeah, no, I don't want to be. I really don't. And the reality is, I think Chris has explained it to me really well. What he's told me is that basically the only way to get big with doing and kind of getting early access, because really, let's face it, that's how you get big with YouTube, is gaining early access, is to sell out, is to actually agree that you're going to give up your objective views on a phone to just sell the device, to just say 100% good things, nothing else. So when you tell me, is the Mi 10T Pro, does it have the best display on any phone in the world? I will tell you yes, of course. Of course, you see best colors, evening, daylight mode, 144 hertz. It's the greatest display on any phone. Like, that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, if you tell me the honest truth, well, that's it. You don't have access to review units anymore, and that's it. And that's just, honestly, it's kind of a dirty part of the business. But Richard, thanks so much. Yeah, you said don't change the way you do things. I'm not going to, man. And if that means that, things don't go well moving forward with a certain company, then so be it. It's all good. All right, so let's see here. X7 Pro. When is X7 Pro coming to Europe? Q4 2020 is when it should be coming, Jovan. And it's a great phone, the Realme X7 Pro. Terrific phone. Obviously, the build quality I wish was a bit better. But yeah, Daryl, higher frame rates, they really are starting to feel like a big scam. Like, the idea that you can put the frame rate in your marketing and all of a sudden, you know what I mean? All of a sudden it's just a big deal. I don't know. I think there's more to a display than just frame rate. And yes, high refresh rate is good, but it needs to be balanced with a bunch of other factors. And, display technology is one of them. Like LCD has its limitations. And anyone who has reviewed those phones and doesn't say that is really just kind of doing a disservice to consumers. Is the K30 Ultra going global? It's not, bro. Yeah, it's not going global, and I don't think Xiaomi has any intentions of making it go global. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see that phone for global release. Thank you, Brenda. I do appreciate that. Would love a tech review of the Pixel 5. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, Max. It's definitely a cool device, and I think the thing I'm most excited about it would be the wide-angle camera. I've seen the wide angle is not so great, and I do have the Pixel 4 already, so in a way I kind of feel like I have one of the Pixel series, but I'm not against the idea. If I do get a Pixel 5, it'll be this, I'll probably sell the 4A and maybe, I don't know, keep it for comparison and sell it. We'll see. But I'm still considering it. OnePlus CEO resigned. Well, if that's true, then then so be it, man. OnePlus, I guess at this point, yeah, I'm cool with OnePlus. I don't love what they do, but I don't hate them. But look, guys, there's a lot of ways OnePlus is better than Xiaomi. Oxygen OS, I got a lot of heat for saying it, but I like Oxygen OS better than MIUI. Just in general, I think it's the slicker UI. And I don't hate MIUI. I think it's solid. But let's face it, guys, there's a lot of stutters on MIUI. And I experience a lot more of those stutters now. My K30 Ultra, after the last update, it's become almost unusable. Like, it's stuttering left and right. I just use it after half an hour, and the control center, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And like the K30 Ultra, it was like such a smooth phone for a while, and now it's like not. And even at 120 hertz, this is the thing I'm telling you guys, even at 120 hertz, you would think the K30 Ultra would be the slickest phone ever. It's not. Like, even my iPhone at 60 hertz is smoother than the K30 Ultra. What is my pick? 60 hertz AMOLED, 120 hertz IPS LCD, and why? I picked 60 hertz AMOLED because 60 hertz AMOLED, believe it or not, done right, is smoother than 120 hertz LCD done wrong. And there's another thing you guys don't realize. With LCD displays, you have what's called artifacting that happens on the display. When you try to apply higher refresh rate to LCD, it needs to compensate a lot more than AMOLED technology does. And because of that, a higher refresh rate AMOLED display will look smoother than a higher refresh rate LCD display. So personally, I would rather use a 60 hertz AMOLED. And that's why I have no problem. Tonight I'm going to order the iPhone 12, and that's going to have a 60 hertz AMOLED display, and I'm going to be super excited about it. And I pick 60 hertz AMOLED over 120 hertz LCD any day of the week. Do I prefer Oxygen OS or iOS? That's tough. I think they both represent like probably the best two OSs for Android and iOS. But personally, I think it's up to each person. I think there's benefits of both iOS and Oxygen OS. But I wouldn't say, I'm gonna move guys a little bit because it's getting a bit dark on this side. I'm gonna just kind of try to get into a bit more of the light here. That's better. There you go. See, that's a lot sunnier. And so I just think it kind of depends on your preference. I love iOS, but I know a lot of you guys don't. But I think Oxygen OS is definitely the best or second best Android skin for sure. Daryl asks, thoughts on phones with stereo speakers with plastic builds. I don't mind plastic builds, Daryl, if they're done right. And if, stereo speakers like the Poco X3 NFC, it has stereo speakers. I think it's a great choice. And it's a great spec to have for such a low price phone. The speakers aren't great. They're not amazing. They're good. They're pretty good. But yeah, I would love to see more phones with dual speakers. Even if they have plastic builds, it's a good thing. And let's see here. Long live my Apple channel. And guys, once again, appreciate to all the support for any of you guys who have subscribed to Frankie Apple Tech. And I will be planning to do a giveaway on Frankie Apple Tech of some stuff, in the near future. So stay tuned for that, guys, because Frankie Apple Tech is just a fun venue for me to be able to share my thoughts on Apple stuff, Apple news, or even kind of retro reviews. Like I want to do some classic Macs, kind of show off some of my old collection of iPhones on on that channel. Just stuff that I don't think would be very popular on the main channel. You know what I mean? So if you haven't subscribed to Frankie Apple Tech, go and do it. You don't have to watch all the time, but I do appreciate your subs. And of course, any kind of interesting video, you may be surprised. Maybe you do want to hear about something you never thought you did. So iChewy is 144 hertz IPS, cheaper than 60 hertz AMOLED. iChewy, I want to be completely honest, bro. I actually think it is. I think, in fact, and if you go back to Pete Lau's, not Pete Lau, to, gosh, what's his name? The other guy for OnePlus? Or it is Pete Lau, I forget. Anyways, you go to that one interview that MKBHD did with the OnePlus guy. What's his face? If you jog my memory, guys. Who's the other OnePlus guy? Anyway, and I remember him mentioning in that chat when they showed off the OnePlus Nord, Carl Pei, that's right. When he showed off the OnePlus Nord and they were talking about the build of materials and all that stuff, I remember him mentioning, if I have to go back and watch this, but remember him saying that any AMOLED display is more expensive than LCD. Like at any refresh rate. So it doesn't matter which refresh rate you're using. And that's what Carl Pei said, like an AMOLED display is just more expensive. So it could even mean, like an LCD at high refresh rate, maybe is a couple dollars more than a lower refresh rate LCD, but then there's like a big gap, or at least a larger gap between that and AMOLED. I mean, it would actually kind of lend a lot of truth to what I'm seeing, which is that, Xiaomi feels they can get more marketing, more hype out of a high refresh rate LCD and not have to spend the money putting in, a 60 hertz or 90 hertz AMOLED display that costs significantly more. Can I say mahal kita? Okay, there you go. Mabuhay, mahal kita for all my Filipino guys out there. What's your favorite Android phone of 2020? Bro, it may be the one I'm actually using for this live stream right now, Krishna. The Galaxy Z Fold 2 is pretty incredible. I hate to imagine. Okay, so a little kind of backstory here, right, of what happened this week, guys. So I went to the hospital, and I had to go to a private hospital. And the overall charges for MRI, for all this stuff, was like 13,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's basically around, it's like almost like 1,500 US dollars just for the treatments of the day. And I remember just leaving the hospital, and I told myself, well, that's the end of the Galaxy Fold, the Z Fold 2. I was like, I'm gonna have to sell this Z Fold 2 to be able to pay for this terrible, accident that I had. The good news is, hopefully the insurance is gonna cover the MRI and this other stuff, and maybe I'll be able to keep this Z Fold 2 for longer, man, because the Z Fold 2 is amazing, bro, and I definitely think it's probably the best phone of the year. But other phones in the running for best phone of the year, I definitely have enjoyed the 4A. It's been an amazing device, and it's just like for the price, for what you get, it's been amazing. From the Xiaomi phones I've reviewed, obviously I told you K30 Ultra was my ultimate value champ, although I'm gonna tell you guys now, my views on the phone have really fallen down recently because of the really bad stutter, and just over the last month has gotten much worse on the K30 Ultra. I still think the K30 Pro is probably the better overall phone. Redmi 10X Pro, I still have it in my possession. I know a lot of people didn't like that phone. I don't know if it did very well, but I still also love the Redmi 10X Pro. And the Mi 10 Ultra, I feel, represents a lot of the best of Xiaomi, but they didn't make it global. They didn't make it available. If they had made that phone available globally, it might be on the list, but there's just so many other phones that have been released globally on the list that I think are better. So it's gonna be hard to say which is the best phone of the year, but I tell you what, the Z Fold 2, Shane, you say you love the Z Fold 2, it's definitely in the running for phone of the year at this point. Andrew Lee says, when will you review iPhone 12 when it comes out? Probably going to be my phone for the next few years. Andrew, I'm pre-ordering the iPhone 12 tonight. And that is because I'm typically a 12 Pro Max user. I'm gonna take my mask off for a second. I'm typically a 12 Pro Max user but I really am excited about this iPhone 12. It is piquing my interest because now it has an OLED display. It's got a just great cameras on it. The battery life seems good enough, and the build quality looks even better. I think, oh, it's got the Dolby HDR video recording, which I can actually use for my channel to make the videos for like street tech videos and other stuff even better. So I think that's why I'm really excited about the iPhone 12. And in a month's time, I'm going to see the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and maybe I'll step up to that at that point. But for now, I think I'm going to go for the iPhone 12. It's looking amazing. K30 Ultra overheat a lot. I'm planning to buy one. I didn't run into the overheating issues with the K30 Ultra. Maybe a little bit here and there, but not to the level that some other channels did. That hasn't been my issue with that phone. With the K30 Ultra, it's really been this stuttering issue that has just gotten worse over time. OnePlus Nord versus Poco X3 NFC. I didn't like the OnePlus Nord. I still think the Poco X3 is a great phone. I would go Poco X3 in that case. Although it's a big price difference there, man. That's kind of a hard one to really compare. You can get Poco F2 Pro for under $400. Yeah, so Daryl, I would say the Poco F2 Pro is probably still one of the best solid choices from Xiaomi to get. And it's 60 hertz AMOLED, but you know what? That's all you need, man. And it's a great panel. It's a higher quality panel, I think, than the K30 Ultra. And it looks great, performs great. So I would probably go with that. What do I think about the Mi 10T compared to the Poco F2 Pro? I'm going to go with the Poco F2 Pro, man. The Mi 10T, sure, it has a 144 hertz display. Whoop-de-doo, man. It's like, oh, it's so smooth. It's so amazing. I personally, guys, think 144 hertz is a gimmick. 120 hertz is about all you need, unless you're a diehard gamer on your phone. And honestly, that market is like this big. 120 hertz, I believe, just like Quad HD, guys. Quad HD, for a moment, remember, we all thought Quad HD displays were going to become the main, every phone, every flagship phone will have Quad HD displays. That didn't happen. I think that's the same with refresh rate. There's gonna be a few phones like Mi 10T Pro that'll be like 144 hertz. It's a big deal. And then after a year or two, you're not gonna see any more 144 hertz displays. Maybe a few here and there, but most will be at 120 hertz, and that's where they will stay. Mi 10T Pro, boss, is it a good buy? You guys you can answer that one if you want. Bro, I'm sorry, I can't answer that because I haven't reviewed it. And unless Xiaomi ever decides they finally want to send me one, even though they promised me one 4 weeks ago at this point, I really can't say. What phone is good under $600? I'm not sure. There's so many, bro. I mean, even the 7T, Realme X2 Pro, Mi 9T Pro, K30 Pro, Realme X7 Pro, they're all under $600, bro. They're all a good choice. Shane, what's the next big gimmick for a smartphone? That's a good one, Shane. I like that question. I think the next big gimmick for a smartphone, that's a tough one. But I really want to give this one some thought here. I'm thinking the next big gimmick has got to be something to do with either I don't think the batteries are going to get much bigger. I think kind of fast charging is also going to become crazy. Like you're going to see some 160 hertz or like 200 like charging in like 10 minutes type phones. You're going to see stuff like that. But I think the next big gimmick might be just like phones that are trying to remove all the ports again. We might start seeing that too, like the portless phones that have like, haptic volume controllers, stuff like that. Smartphones are getting so, they're just getting so ridiculous and just kind of plateauing so much that I think manufacturers are going to try to find more ways to just try to upsell you on devices. And maybe by creating, a phone that has no ports, that has like, touchscreen, everything. Obviously, we're seeing now the lack of kind of punch holes or kind of under display technology. I think that's going to be a big thing. Like companies telling you that you need to buy the new phone because it has under display tech. And it's the game changer of game changers. I think there's some good use out of that can come out of it, but I really don't know if it's definitely something I want to see, but I can see a lot of companies just using this type of stuff as gimmicks in the future. Let's see here. What is your real name? Come on, man. What are you trying to pull here? Just know that I am Latin American and my first name is Francisco, if you can say that. Removal of ports. I don't know. Maybe, Daryl, maybe they could end up doing something like that. Just like removing all ports or doing just something where it looks futuristic, or even like, I don't know how much more removing of displays they can do other than maybe just what the what was it, the kind of the Mi Mix Ultra, you remember that one that started folding around the display? Maybe that's something they can do. Foldables are going to continue, so like you're going to see like rollable phones and all that sort of stuff. It's all going to come, man. It's going to be crazy. iPhone event, they spoke 5G word 100 times. Yeah, that was kind of gimmicky. I felt like they were talking too much about Verizon. Like, I completely tuned out to that part of the iPhone kind of event. It was just kind of like, oh, please, it's very US centric. I don't care about Verizon. Just talk about the phones. Would I do a video about the K30 Ultra stutters? I kind of showed it off a little bit in one of my videos, like that it was pretty bad. And I did a Twitter post about it. I may actually do that. We'll see. Thoughts on the Galaxy A51? From everything I've read about it, and from the times I played with it in the store, seems a bit slow, just not very responsive. The Exynos chip in that I don't think is very good, but the A51 5G I think did a little bit better, but then it's more expensive too. What do you mean by the topic of your video? No, just someone was just asking me, Philippe, if I would do a K30 Ultra stutters video. I don't know. Can I hug you? You look huggable. Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead, man. But please don't spam, of course. You know, you can hug me virtually if you want. OnePlus 8T includes DDR4 RAM. I know, I noticed that. For you spec lovers, that's like a real thumbs down for the OnePlus 8T, isn't it? I don't really mind so much. Honestly, the phones I've used with DDR4X RAM, they've been great. The K30 Ultra, until recently, was great. The Redmi 10X Pro, there's a few other phones I've used that have, the Realme phones just now, the X7, X7 Pro, they're both using DDR4X RAM. And, so I don't think it's that big of an issue. Now, let's look here. A few last questions. Samsung M51 is Snapdragon 730. Yeah, you know what? I was this close to actually reviewing the Galaxy M51. And the reason why I stopped myself was just because I looked at the sheer number of videos on that phone. There have been so many videos on the M51. Meanwhile, the Realme X7 had very few videos on it. And so I was like, well, let me review the phone that I think would make for good comparisons, and that also has barely been reviewed by most other channels. What are things that phone companies should remove and revive? I mean, I think the fingerprint scanner on the back, for example, on the Pixel 4a, that's been a great thing, especially during times of this COVID times. Better put my mask back on. You know, having a physical fingerprint scanner, not optical in the display, but having one that's easier to access, I think is good. Face ID, hasn't been so great. And I think even Apple may start including, right, the fingerprint scanner on the home button, on the power button. I mean, if they do that, that's going to be great. Your voice is so sweet. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Fabner. And anyways, guys, I'm going to be wrapping this up soon, but I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys now, since you guys have been waiting so long. I'm going to share with you now, because I did drop that tweet on Monday, and despite, kind of the issues I'm having and all this stuff from the accident, that I still, I'm going to hold true to what I said. So I'm going to reveal to you guys right now the two phones that you will be able to choose from for this giveaway. And, I thought about it for a while, which would be the ideal two phones that I could kind of offer to you guys. And basically the way it's going to work, I'm going to retweet this in about 5 minutes, basically retweet the two phones that you will be able to choose from. You'll choose one, of course, from one of these two. And then in, let's just say, a week's time, I will basically pick a winner from the retweet that I'm going to do in about 5 minutes. So in other words, once you see the retweet of the two phones, just go ahead and retweet that, and I will be picking a winner from that. And so here we go. These are the two phones that I'm gonna be offering to you guys, and then you can decide which one you would like to pick. And I had said originally Xiaomi and Realme. And so the two phones that you will be able to pick from are the Poco X3 NFC and the Realme X7. That's it. So there you go, guys. It's going to be one of those two. And the nice thing about it is it's going to also be a good gauge for me to see which phone actually wins out in the end. Which of those two phones would the audience, would you guys want to pick? Because you know what? I thought to myself, and this is, maybe this is kind of a way to send a message, but I thought to myself, what if I do a giveaway and I have the audience or the winner choose between 60 hertz AMOLED and 120 hertz LCD. There you go. There's a little bit of truth to what I'm doing, and there's a little bit of, I guess, not revenge, but just it's a little bit of poetic justice, let's call it, of why it's those two phones. So once again, guys, I really do appreciate you guys sticking around with me for this time, for this pretty awesome live stream. I really enjoyed it, and you know, it's been fun kind of sitting out here in the park. As you see, it's coming to kind of evening time now here in Hong Kong. And once again, for all the messages of support I've received this week, guys, I really do appreciate it. It's meant the world. My leg will hopefully be healing up, and by the end of, I'd say this weekend, coming into next week, I will be back. I will be back with the full kind of types of videos you see on the channel. So comparisons, and do let me know, you know, what kinds of comparisons you would want to see with the Realme X7, the X7 Pro. If I do end up getting the iPhone 12, that will be coming at the end of the week, which should be exciting. And of course, any other devices that I have for review as well. K30 Ultra in India, bro. It's not coming to India, bro. I can tell you right now, it's not coming. It will never come to India. Love you from Iran. Love to all my Iranian viewers. Thank you so much. And that is it for this one, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ruby. Let's do some outros. iChewy, the true successor to the Pocophone. I'll see if I do, man. Shane, thanks so much. Abby, too. Thank you. And once again, guys, stay tuned for that retweet that's going to be coming in the next couple minutes. Bye-bye, Merly. Kilig sit shine. Okay. Good luck, Frankie. Thanks a lot, Daryl. I appreciate it. Alan Masters, hugs from Portugal. Thanks so much. Shane, once again, appreciate it. Appreciate your OG support, Shane. Really do. To all my OGs, to all my, you know, fans who make me continue moving on. I'm going to keep fighting, guys. Whether Xiaomi, whether Realme, doesn't matter. Companies come and go. But you know what? Frankie Tech is here to stay. And I'm here to stay to keep bringing you Just Keep Swimming here on the channel. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot, guys. Let's do the outro together. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Retweet coming now. Get ready.